What's up, everybody? It's Gerald Santowski. Saturday, September 12th, 2020. It's 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Just about an hour away from the fights. I'm doing UFC on ESPN Plus 35. Waterson versus Hill predictions. If you know me, I've been following MMA for a long time, since 2007. I haven't done a prediction video in a while, but I plan on doing them regularly now. Just to add some content to my YouTube channel. But also because I love MMA, period. So yeah, these are my predictions. We're looking at Tapology. Tapology has it listed under UFC Fight Night, Waterson vs. Hill. I think they consider it UFC on Vegas 10. MMA Junkie, which I like, has it listed under UFC on ESPN Plus 35, but we're going to use Tapology. I love Tapology. You can find me on Tapology as username Osentowski. And I've been active on there for over 4 years now. And then I'll be pulling up bestfightodds.com for the betting odds. So the first fight of the night, we have Sabina Mazo against Justine Kish in the women's flyweight division. Justine Kish is getting a lot of late betting action. Sabina Mazo was currently minus 228 at Bookmaker. Justine Kish is plus 182. Line open around minus 250. A little bit higher on 5 dimes, about minus 275, I think, for Mazo. And I like Sabina Mazo in this fight, man. I was really considering betting this fight, placing a straight bet on Mazo, but I stayed away from it. I really looked into it, though, man. And I like Mazo. 6-inch reach advantage. 9 years younger. Trains out of King's MMA. Really good camp. And Justine Kish, her only path to victory, in my opinion, is wrestling. And that's the only thing unproven for Mazo. She was taken down by Marina Moroz. So, you know, I've been watching different videos of both women, interviews they've given leading up to this fight, and you know, Mazo says, you know, she wouldn't mind showing off for BJJ. You know, I mean, if I was looking at it from a betting perspective, I'd like to see her keep the fight standing and just outwork Justine Kish, because Justine Kish, like I said, she's at a severe reach disadvantage. There's always some shit going on in her life. Things are always uncertain. You know, she sold her house in North Carolina, her mom's house. Her mom has health issues. She's always training somewhere different. She was training out of Black House, I think, for this. She's got Kenny Johnson in her corner for wrestling. But like I said, I'm going with Sabina Mazo by unanimous decision. But no bet on it. Anthony Ivy against Brian Barberina. Anthony Ivy had a horrible UFC debut where I think he was finished in around a minute's time. By Christian Aguilera. Brian Barberina, he's been out for a while. I think he's been out since the Vicente Luque fight. No, he's been out since the Randy Brown fight, about 15 months ago. And then he ballooned up, I know, because he had back surgery. But I'm going with Anthony Ivy in this fight, man. Like I said, there's a lot of questions surrounding Barberina. Anthony Ivy doesn't really have nothing to lose. So I got Anthony Ivy taking a decision from Barberina, which, I mean, like I said, at minus 241 on Barberina, you know, I'm taking Anthony Ivy as an underdog. No bet, but I'm going with Ivy. Brock Weaver against Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner is currently at minus 399 over Brock Weaver. Jalen Turner was supposed to fight last week against Thiago Moises. Moises had to pull out with COVID-19. So Turner's cut weight 2 times in a week's time. But this was a catch weight of 165. He came in over a pound under. He weighed in with a tarantula too, as that's his nickname. Brock Weaver's been training at AT&T or ATT. But like I said, I like Jalen Turner in this fight, man. I don't think Brock Weaver can wrestle Turner for 3 rounds, and I don't think he can find a submission. I think Turner picks up a knockout in the second round. If not, I can see him winning a decision. But I can see Weaver getting him down potentially in the first round. But you know, Jalen Turner, man, he's a big dude for the lightweight division. Alexander Romanov against Roque Martinez. Romanov minus 400, Martinez a plus 300. Martinez took this fight on. Well, this is actually a short notice fight. Came together 2 days ago. Romanov was supposed to fight last week, but Rogerio de Lima, he pulled out, I think, with COVID. But man, I mean, I don't know how you can lay minus 400 on Romanov, man. Martinez, he's been active on the Japanese scene for a while. And I know Romanov's going to go for broke in the first round. So I'm actually picking Martinez to pick up a TKO in the second round. You know, he's got to survive the early storm. But, hey, man, you know, as a minus 400, man, you got to prove it, man. These are heavyweights. You know, I'm going to go with Martinez for the upset. Roosevelt Roberts against late replacement Kevin Croom. Matt Favola pulled out with an injury yesterday. He's got a fracture in his ankle. And I really did like Favola going into that fight, but thank God that was disclosed, because anybody that had money on Favola probably would have been shit out of luck come fight night if he would have carried out with the fight. But minus 450, I'm going to go with Roberts to get the win, to pick up a decision win. Kevin Croom's a tough dude. What's keeping me away from placing a bet on this fight is, like I said, Kevin Croom. He was supposed to take a late notice fight in the UFC a couple weeks ago. For some reason, he couldn't make weight, or he pulled out, whatever reason. Trains out of Glory MMA Fitness, whatever, with James Krause. He's a top-ranked featherweight. He's been on the scene for a long time. He's got nothing to prove. He's fighting up a weight class. Roosevelt Roberts, I'm not really impressed with his gym scenario, man. He seems like he's the only talent out of his gym, Adrenaline MMA. I don't really know the situation with that. I looked into it a little bit. At minus 450, I can't place a bet on that, man. I don't have enough faith or trust in Roosevelt Roberts. He's not a top tier fighter in my opinion. He's a prospect. He is a prospect for sure. So I am taking him to get the decision victory, but obviously no bet. Julia Avila against Ciara Eubanks. Avila's current a minus 295 on Bookmaker. Ciara Eubanks is currently a plus 230. Man, Ciara Eubanks Sarge looked great at the weigh-ins, man. She was cut up, looked big, muscular, looked like she's really been training. Avila showed up in shape. But, man, I just got this funny feeling that Eubanks is going to come out here and pick up a win, man. I don't know. I'm going with Eubanks by decision. My initial lean was on Avila. But, man, I was really impressed by the way Eubanks looked at the weigh-ins, man. It looks like she's definitely got something to prove. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Eubanks by decision. I've no bet. I don't have any bets on this card. But, yeah, I like Eubanks, man. Billy Quarantilo against Kyle Nelson. Billy Quarantilo currently a minus 253. Kyle Nelson a plus 200. Kyle Nelson's the way bigger guy, it looks like. And he's got some crazy power, man. He got his UFC. He got into the UFC by fighting Diego Ferreira on a couple days' notice, I think, 2 years ago in Toronto. And he's had some losses in the UFC, to Matt Sales, to Ferreira. He knocked out Marco Polo Reyes, I think in Polo Reyes' featherweight debut last September. But, man, like I said, Billy Quarantilo, he trains with Matt Favola. He's off the card. But, man, I don't know, man. Billy Quarantilo has been in a couple wars. I'm going to go with Kyle Nelson by the upset, man. First round knockout. I just couldn't trust Billy Quarantilo at a minus 253 odds, man. You got to prove it to me, man. To me, you're not worthy of those odds. You might pick up the win here, but I'm going to go with Kyle Nelson by first round knockout. Alan Patrick against Bobby Green. Bobby Green's currently a minus 270. Alan Patrick is plus 212 on Bookmaker. I'm going to go with Bobby Green by decision. Can never lay that type of chalk with Bobby, man. Bobby's always in some close fights, it seems like. Obviously, his last couple fights, he's picked up the decision win kind of comfortably. Beat Clay Guida by decision. Beat Lando Veneta by decision, 30-27. Alan Patrick, I know he's been training with Henry Cejudo, so I do like that. He came in looking in good shape. I guess the kind of question is, can he get him down, man? Alan Patrick is a long, lanky guy. Bobby Green obviously has more volume, but, man, I just worry about if Alan Patrick can just get him down, smother him. But, you know, he's got the length. But I like Bobby Green in this fight, man. Bobby Green, you know, he's always been a very talented guy, man. He's been kind of injury-ridden. He's lost a lot of close decisions. But I'm going with Bobby Green here by decision, no bet. Ed Herman against Mike Rodriguez. The line really hasn't moved on this. Mike Rodriguez minus 245. Ed Herman plus 194. The value is all with Ed Herman, in my opinion. Ed Herman's the bigger guy. Ed Herman was supposed to fight numerous times this past month, but his opponent pulled out, COVID, all types of stuff. Mike Rodriguez, impressive win over the Polish dude, Praciano, I think. Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Very nice first round TKO. But he looked very soft at the weigh-ins, man. I'm going to go with Ed Herman by decision. Maybe he possibly gets a submission. He's got to survive Rodriguez's round 1, but I'm going to go with Ed Herman by decision for the upset. Andrea Lee against Roxanne Modafferi. Andrea Lee currently minus 320. Modafferi plus 247. I don't know how you can trust Andrea Lee coming off 2 split decision losses at minus 320 odds. Modafferi's an underdog, man. She always fights for your money as an underdog. I wouldn't want to lay money on her as a favorite, but, man, she's always in some close fights. And, you know, she had a really nice upset of Macy Barber in January, man. Macy Barber was like a minus 900 favorite. And I know Barber blew her knee out or whatever in the first round. But, man, Modafferi, like I said, what bothers me about Modafferi is that she was rocked. She looked visibly rocked by Lauren Murphy in her last fight. And I did have Lauren Murphy winning that fight. But I'm going Andrea Lee by decision. Not super confident, but, man, Roxanne Modafferi's a dog, man. Karma Worthy against Ataman Izaitar, man. Worthy's currently a minus 132. Izaitar plus 107, man. Worthy has looked great in UFC, man. Happy for that dude. That dude's hungry, man. He's pulled off a lot of upsets, and he's finally getting some respect at the betting window. However, man, I think Izaitar, he's coming off that first round knockout of Timu Packalin last September in Abu Dhabi at UFC 242. But Ataman Izaitar, you know, he trains in the Middle East. He's got a great camp. He's got the support of all those Arab princes and that. He comes from Morocco. He's got devastating power, man, in his hands, man. So I think Worthy is probably the more well-rounded fighter, but I don't think that might matter here. I think Izaitar puts him out in the first round. But if it gets out of the first round, it could clearly be Worthy's fight, you know, because I don't know the cardio situation with Izaitar, but I'm going with Izaitar by first round knockout at plus 107 odds. Main event, Angela Hill against Michelle Waterson. Angela Hill is currently a minus 123. Michelle Waterson is a plus 100 off Bookmaker. My initial leans going into this fight was, I was like, man, I really like Angela Hill, man. I think she beat Claudia Gadelha in her last fight. She's the first African-American female to headline a UFC card. And I think it's clear from a promotional standpoint that the UFC would like Angela Hill to win this fight. You know, Michelle Waterson, the UFC got behind her a few years ago. You know, Waterson, you know, took me by surprise, even though probably looking into it, I should have been all over her. 4 years ago when she beat Paige Van Zandt by submission in the first round, just completely dominated Paige on the ground. And, you know, Paige Van Zandt was clearly a hype train her whole career. You know, just she had the good looks. And, you know, she just never panned out as a fighter, man. I don't think she ever really took her training seriously. You know, But Michelle Waterson, man, she's a lifelong martial artist. So coming off that Paige Van Zant win, they try to promote her against Rose Namajunas. And I was on Waterson in that fight, man. But Namajunas put her out in the second round. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that card on Fox because Whitaker beat Jacare on that. Whitaker really got his boost in that fight. And got his title shot in that fight. After that fight. But, yeah, and then, the Waterson's been, they've given her some fights to just kind of, like, get her up there, man. She lost to Joanna last October, and, I mean, that was a tough fight. She did take Joanna's back, I think, in the third or fourth round, but Joanna got out of it. But, looking more and more into this fight, man, I was on Hill initially going into this fight, but I like Waterson, man. I like the way Waterson looks. I like the way Waterson is handling the situation. I think Waterson's always in close fights. It's a 5-round fight now. Waterson's been there, done that. She can go 5 rounds. She's a smaller fighter. She takes her training seriously. Has a great ground game. Angela Hill just looked deflated at the weigh-ins to me, man, and normally when a promotion wants something to happen, I mean, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And I think the UFC would like to see Hill win, from a marketing perspective. She's a fresh face. She's definitely a company fighter. She's taken a bunch of short notice fights, and she's performed, man. She's definitely gotten a lot better as a fighter, but, man, she looked real deflated at the weigh-ins. And she didn't really look like she had a size advantage like I thought she'd have on Waterson. But, when I see a fighter not want to shake the other fighter's hand, and, she seems like she's, like, angry and got this chip on the shoulder, and she's acting completely different than she has before in the past, that makes me wonder, man. That makes me think that there's some self-doubt in Angela Hill's camp. And, so that took me off the page. Michelle Waterson looked phenomenal with the weigh-ins. Definitely looks like she's packed on some muscle and size. And like I said, I mean, it's I'm on Michelle Waterson, man. I'm on Michelle Waterson in this fight. My model's on Waterson. I don't have a bet on this fight, but like I said, my pick is Michelle Waterson to win this fight, either by submission or decision. I concede either way. So, those are my picks, guys, for Waterson versus Hill, UFC on ESPN Plus 35, September 12th, 2020. The fights will be starting in a half hour. So, take care, guys. Talk to you guys soon.